spirits of the land here where it is grey. um, it's a bit cold today. It's not actually freezing, although I haven't been outside today. So welcome to Monday the 16th of June. We definitely have a week ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So now last week I did a quick read through of the week ahead, and I'm happy to say I can do it again. I've actually got the words for the week up, and I'm getting back into my habits, I fell off a little bit. But actually, you know what? I completely fell off the wagon in a few ways last week, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. It was one of those weeks. Anyway, all right, so it doesn't look like it's working today, so it looks like I'll have to say hello. Hello, Alicia. Good morning, Susan. Hello, Heather. How are you, ladies? Nice to see you here. Thank you. All right. Okay, this week, look, we do have the solstice this week, all right? So we are at the deepest point. So Saturday at 12:42 p.m. is when the sun goes into Cancer. So we are at these last degrees of the last degrees of Gemini. Now, today we do have so the moon is in Aquarius still, all right? So think of that rebellion, emotionally detached, future thinking, socially activated. There's quite a few amazing things about Aquarius. Never say that about anyone. No, you know what I mean. I'd never say anything bad about any one sign. They all have their good points. Now, today, the moon is trine the sun. All right. So and the moon is also in conjunct the south node. All right. That's at 2 p.m. All right. So overall, the moon in Aquarius is like, I respect the way you think, all right? Because today I've written there could be challenges to your authority that could throw you off balance. Try standing back and, try to sort of, do that respond, don't react to any emotional challenges or outbursts. This is about, you generally care about those involved. You don't want total destruction. There is a very primal aspect today, and it is about pushing buttons. All right. So, and these are the buttons that need to show you where the work needs to be done. So, we want that bigger picture thinking for the best outcome. And remember that, you've got the heads up. I'm telling you, there's some tension around this week. So, if you see other people start to sort of lose it, remember you are responding to their reaction, or you don't need to react. You can just step back and respond. All right. Now, the reason why I'm also saying that there is some challenges to authority is that it's mainly after 2 p.m. that you've got to sort of think about these things. All right. So we've got that in conjunct to the South Node in Virgo. What can you just let go of that is going to make it better for you in the long run? Think of that, the cleanliness, the healthcare practices, the service to yourself and others. Like, do you have an idea, or do you have a vision that South Node, which is where you want to release, the place that you're comfortable, you need to move on from? I don't know, maybe you have a negative habit you would like to release. It could even be something like that. It's just you being aware of something that needs to go. All right, now, so that's 2 p.m. At the same time, there is a square to Uranus in Taurus. So this thing that you're letting go of might be because it's making you uncomfortable. All right, so Uranus in Taurus. Think of this at the moment as a very sensory. I don't know why it's even more exceptionally sensory than yeah, I do. Sorry. Why is it so sensory? Because it's opposing Lilith in Scorpio. That's why. Because these are our deep, dark things that are hidden. All right. Lilith, the things that we have probably suppressed. Scorpio, dark primalness. All right. So the fact that Uranus and Lilith are in opposition, then those deep, deep discomforts are being triggered. All right. So that was at 2 o'clock. The let's let this go because it doesn't feel good. And the opposition to Uranus is I can see where it's coming from. All right. So then we get to, so 3 o'clock or after three, the sextile, all right, the sextile to Chiron starts, all right. So you make that awareness at 2, all right. You feel the discomfort, you see the where it's coming from, you know you got to let go, and then after 3, that sextile to Chiron starts happening, and you're like, actually, yeah, for me to be the best individual that I can be, I need to let this go. Now, at the same time, that square, I mean, just spoken about that square to Lilith, but that's also involved in this. Now, at 5 o'clock, or after 5, the trine to Jupiter starts. So if we just allow this to sort of start unfolding, then by the time we get to that after 5, it might be implanted in our knowing that, even though it might be doing our heads in a little bit. Jupiter at the last couple of degrees of Gemini, or the last degree of Gemini, it's big in our minds, whatever this thing is. And then but after, oh, actually after 11, I'm sorry, I missed one. After 11 a.m, the moon starts to oppose Mars. All right. So all of those things add a bit of irritation in there as well. So this is why they're challenges. All right. So we can see what's going on, and it's a fucking bit irritating. But if we do that, Aquarian, stand back and just observe, because we are letting go of the things that no longer serve us, South Node in Virgo, then it's going to ultimately be better for us. Let me just click the button and say hello. Oh, click it again. Okay. Oh, look at everyone. Good morning, Barbara. Hello, Karen. Good morning, Kath. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Sean. So nice to see everyone. All right. So now in the sky in general this week, all right, we have the sun is going to start sextiling Mars. If you have felt like you've been a little bit blah, this is probably going to pick up some of the energy, even though we're going to the sun moving into Cancer. I think we're starting to sort of, I don't, like I said at the beginning of my of live, I said that I sort of fell off the wagon last week in a few different ways. It just got like a bit all too much. So now we're heading into Cancer, where it's like, oh, actually, I'm going to be okay. We've got that nurturing potential coming to us very much for us in the Southern Hemisphere. Obviously, it's even the day of the solstice, it's beautiful. Saturday, if you want a heads up for Saturday, I would totally be doing a slow cooked meal and like some sort of family dinner where you can, I don't know, sit around and play board games if that's the type of family you are, or watch movies or have chats. I don't know. It felt like a very coming home type of energy, and that felt really nice. So back to what's going on this week. All right. So the sun is going to square that Saturn Neptune, or it's growing. So we could be feeling like, even what I said about today, about these challenges to what we want and desire, or our authority. Um, you know, we are also um, we are also reinforcing ourselves when it comes to our dreams that we could, potentially, like we have this maybe vision, but we know that we've got to work hard towards it. I'm trying to put the positive spin on this. Otherwise, it's like you're going to be butting your head up against a wall when it could be easier than this. Was the only sort of thing that came out of that. And also, in general, the sun is also now sextile Chiron. Okay, so we are getting into that warmth, healing, or not warmth, we're getting into the cold, but you know what I mean. Like, we're heading towards these more nurturing type of aspects. And we get out of our head, because this week, for a couple of days, Mercury and Venus are making no aspects. And then the first aspect that Mercury makes is a trine to the North Node. So amazing. We're actually getting our head into gear and moving forward again. So that starts on Wednesday. That's beautiful. Venus is still not talking to anyone until Sunday, when she trines the South Node while Mercury is square Chiron. So overall, there's a lot of yeah, see, there's still a lot of stuff in our head happening, and if we're moving into that nurturing space, then Venus starting to starting to trine the South Node around that time is the self love and nurturing again with the releasing of the things. We're at the bottom point of, like we're at the solstice. We're almost at that bounce point where we can't get any lower. So we can only go up from here, and I hope I'm trying to sort of express that accurately, because I mean, everybody's going to be getting different triggers during the week. So like Mars this week, if you are an Aries or a Scorpio, and or Mars is quite active for you, today at 1 p.m. Mars is square Lilith in Scorpio. Mars is still in Leo. So I'm just wondering whether that could be, the only thing that's actually coming to my mind is an egotistical conversation or some hard truths that make you feel better. Maybe, like if you're the type of person that has held back secrets unnecessarily because you were coerced into that, then maybe this is the type of thing that says, this is my truth, and this is going to make me feel like a better person, or make me feel authentic and proud of myself rather than the shame of hidden things. I don't know, again, words coming out, because yesterday we had those huge things. We had Mars square Uranus at 7:30, and then we had Jupiter square Saturn at 11 p.m. So still very much active, that Jupiter square Saturn. So this is idealism versus responsibility, potentially. Like maybe, that idealism of Jupiter in Gemini. Oh, sorry, Jupiter's now in Cancer. I'm sorry. Jupiter in Cancer. Maybe there is a expectation that you need to be the nurturing one versus the reality of you being a strong individual, or maybe you're responsible for a lot of family issues when really you want to improve yourself. You can do both. The more you improve yourself, the more you find discipline and determination in your own well-being, and that own strengthening process that Saturn is doing in Aries, the better you are a provider and a carer. So think of it that way. It might feel hard, but think of it, those squats give you good glutes. They're not pleasant, but they help. Um, so yeah, pretty much like the like in the words, it's so challenges to your authority. Don't take the bait. Step back from any emotional outbursts. You are here to build, not burn. There is a raw primal energy pulsing under the surface, exposing exactly where that inner work needs to be tending. Big picture is your best ally right now. So let's draw a card. And we'll click the button to see how did you guys go on the weekend as well, So good morning, Erin. How are you? I hope you're feeling better soon. Good morning, Deborah. And the days started getting longer after the solstice. Absolutely, absolutely. But we still have that 1 week of station. We've got that 1 week where before the sun actually starts to, it's deep winter. It doesn't actually feel like deep winter. And yes, Deb, drop and squat. I think later on in the week, I also wrote about tension. Friday. If it gets too much in your head, drop and give me 20 push-ups and see how frustrated you are after that. So yeah, all week, guys, all week, just very much be aware of what comes out of your mouth. You are only in control of your own thoughts. And with all of this, there's just tension and tantrums and outbursts. So just keep authority on yourself. Someone said that the other day. I was looking for the word, and then someone in the YouTube comments said authority, and I was like, yes, that's the word I was looking for. So if that was you, thank you so much. I can't remember who it was. All right, let's draw a card. Okay. Not the smoothest shuffle today. We had that last card. That was the last card that came out. So I feel like I need to remind you that the other day we had that, I think it's the Five of Pentacles, where the lady is sitting a bit despondent on the ground and the key is just in the background. So maybe there is a reminder there that, you know, everything you need in this difficult world is just right there for you, but it takes you to just sit up and go, all right, I'm going to do something about this. And then the card to back up that one is the Five of Cups. All right, you know what? There's definitely a theme there because, she has got four empty cups and she's not looking at the fact that she has one full cup there. So yeah, it might be a difficult week. We are like I was saying, we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom bounce there. We could be perceived as sitting on our butt right now, but like maybe those waters that you know what? Maybe she's emptying the wine that she no longer wants to drink. Maybe those waters have been sitting there for too long and they've gone stagnant, or, there's mosquito larvae in there, or, maybe she's deliberately tipping them out and pondering the possibilities of her life with that one full cup there. It looks like it's nice and shiny. But yeah, don't be too I mean, I know that I've got a lot of card readers here, and I'm sorry if I'm absolutely butchering the meaning, but it's my show. Yeah, just allow those old look. I look, even there's like a light being emitted out from the fact that maybe she's doing exactly what spirit wants her. Releasing those old things to hydrate the earth, release the things that you no longer need, because energy can never be destroyed, it can only be transmuted. So, what we're doing is just refocusing into an area that we want to. And you know what? The universe will take back the stuff we don't want, it'll just recycle it in some other way. So, oh, throw that at you. So, I will say one last click and goodbye. Empty in wine, never. Okay, oops, hang on a minute. All right. You asked me last week if my solar return chart was Moon in Scorpio, and it was zero Sag. Yay! Oh, go, Karen. You're going to have an awesome year. I love that. Good morning, Elizabeth. After work, New Age was pretty cool. Not used to all that energy, though. Absolutely. Have a fabulous day, Alicia. Go ground all of that energy that you've got. Sean says 5% of Pentacles. I get it all the time. It's so much so the card is now damaged. Ah, let it go. Good morning, Sally. I just sent you a clip about all those ducks. Emptying one of you're, oh, thank you, Sean. Everyone looks at cards different, like absolutely, and that is it, isn't it? You know what? Even look, I've got astrologers here, and I know that we all have a different perspective, and that is the beauty of being human. We respect everybody's beliefs and the way that they view it, because there is no one, this is the rules book. All right. There isn't one. There never has been. It's all human perception written down in their own words in a book. So, with that bit, I just hope that you all have an amazing day, and I will definitely see you tomorrow. And when we wake up tomorrow, the moon will be in Pisces. So we're going to be back into those, feeling spaces. So I hope you all have a great week and a great day. And mwah!